I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Sparky.
Salty and Chip.
We're about to do some Led Zeppelin, y'all.
Yep.
Challenging day, though. God almighty.
I know. Definitely.
You know, what does it say that in Ephesians 6, the day of evil?
Yep.
It's definitely one of those days of evil. I woke up and I looked up. I said, fuck.
Really?
Yeah. First of all, I woke up 2 hours before the alarm.
Yeah, I know.
That was one.
You kept moving around.
I went to bed at like 6:30 or 7 and woke up at like 9. And I sometimes when I wake up early, I'm like, okay. And other times I know I'm not going to be able to go back to bed. So there's that. Then we lost Timmy. Then Sparky's dying. Then Sparky's dying, and then computer technology.
Lost him as in we dropped him off at the shelter. He didn't die.
Yeah, just a tough.
What did you say about Sparky and what?
Well, Sparky's fading out.
I know he is. He's fading out.
So it's just a tough time. Tough time.
Yeah, I was like, let's put him up. Like we'll bid him off. Somebody will fix him. Somebody will love on him. He was like, he was okay with it, but he was like, you don't feel sad about it?
All right, we don't need to talk about that.
Honey, we got rid of a dog today.
This is Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. I don't see a lot of people doing this, but it's probably the copyright stuff, but, we don't
Hopefully
care.
that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain freedom when you're not worried about that shit.
I know, it's true.
I will say, though, we have a really exciting Patreon type thing going on that is, stay tuned for that, because I think it's, we've been really trying to rack our brains, trying to figure out how to squeeze out the most value possible for a $1 patron all the way to a $75 patron.
Yep.
Make it worth everybody's while. Mm-hmm. Reward the heavy hitters while at the same time recognize the people that give us their 100 pennies a month,
right,
which is extremely important.
Yeah.
So we've got a really cool idea that I think in one stroke is going to do everything. And I think with that system, you can add more things other than just song requests.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm very excited about it, but we got to put our heads together and figure out how the hell
we can make it
to
work.
Actually do it, because there's a lot of math and logic involved.
Hopefully it'll be like an Excel sheet.
Well, yeah, the Excel, yeah.
Like how
coming up with the algorithm is going to be the toughest part, but once we get that, it'll take off. Anyway,
patrons will wreck shop.
We did our first ever Patreon kind of like live listen session. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've got watch a movie with us coming up with our patrons with the movie Dogma. So that's coming pretty soon.
That's $1 and up, right?
$1 and up.
Yeah.
$1 and up. $1 and up. But anyway, all right. So, Kashmir, let's go.
Whoa.
that an orchestra?
Hmm?
Is that an orchestra? Why didn't you let it play out? There's 4 seconds left.
Yeah, I see that now, but I was trying to get this back up.
There's nothing we can do now.
Nope.
You ruined it.
Sorry.
You're not sorry. You're sorry. All right. You know what's interesting?
What?
I've never heard the song before, but I've heard the song before.
Yeah. Why? Why is that?
That's one of my like mysteries. Like that dude from Vikings, you know. Yo, look at my hand.
Yeah.
So Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah.
Did a it was a soundtrack for the movie Godzilla, and he has a song called "Come With Me," where he sampled this track. So like the da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na,
Yeah.
da-na-na.
Yeah, I think that was the part.
So that's where I first heard this song. I just realized.
Oh,
it.
wow.
I first heard the song from Puff. You know, from that "Come With Me" from the Godzilla record. That was a crazy summer, man.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord.
That was about 20 years ago. God almighty. But yeah, man. For sure.
One part of it sounded so familiar to me, but I'm sure I haven't heard the song.
This is like a staple song in our culture.
Yeah, I was like, it's gotta be like.
This is a staple song. So like people say like Zeppelin and like Black Sabbath created like metal, but these guys to me are, well, I don't know, maybe it's not fair to compare, but like this is like some next level shit, man.
Well, to me, it
They
sounded.
had like an orchestra and shit?
Yeah, it sounded dated in the sense of you could tell that it wasn't made just now, that it dated back to a certain time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it definitely had a. I was like, this. I can see why this Led Zeppelin is so. Now, is Led Zeppelin the name of the whole band? I always thought that was the name of a person.
No, Led Zeppelin is the band.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was a person. I thought it was the singer.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see why they got big.
That riff is famous. The da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. It's one of those things where it's like, what year was this? 1970 something? 1975, it looks like.
We weren't even born yet.
Yeah, we weren't born yet. But what's interesting, it's like I feel like there hasn't been a riff that epic since then.
Oh.
Like that's an epic riff, man. That's like this is some supernatural shit.
I think they had an orchestra in there too.
Well, they did. They did.
Like it was a lot. It was.
But like that riff is so crazy. I think like the "O Father, O Saint, No Son" riff.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like an homage to this. Like I think there's been a lot of reiterations.
That's what I'm saying. It sounded very familiar.
Of this riff because it's like it's such a like. I used to have this friend, Robin. He's a Christian dude. And he's like old school Christian, women wear doilies, da-da-da-da. And he basically like adopted us like because we were crazy kids, didn't know what we were doing.
Oh, yeah?
And he used to take us out to Denny's every Sunday after church.
Aww.
He was a good dude. God bless him. Shout out to the big homie. I hope you found your baby muffin, my man. That's what he'd call. He's like, I just want a baby muffin to love, brother Vin.
What is that? You want to get married?
Yeah. Oh, he wanted to get married.
He called it a baby muffin?
He called them baby muffins.
That's cute, actually.
Yeah. He had these, like, real, like, specifications for what his baby muffin had to be, though.
Oh.
She couldn't be a certain... Remember that dude that had all these specifications?
That's what I was thinking about.
It's like...
But baby muffin sounds like you're okay with her.
He was a gentle... You would have loved him. You wouldn't have given him the time of day, but you would have loved him. He was just a... But anyway...
So I wouldn't have wanted to be his baby muffin?
No, you wouldn't have been his baby. He would have done a lot of things to get you to be his baby muffin, though. But anyway... this is really interesting because it's like... He and his buddy...
Yeah.
I forgot his buddy's name. I feel so... Paul. Mm-hmm. So Robin was like hardcore Christian... You know, women wear doilies, don't speak in church, da-da-da-da-da. And then Paul was like ex-Catholic, kind of like on the line. They were very, very good friends, loved each other.
Okay.
But Paul was like, he couldn't go there with him.
Yeah.
And so they talk, and it's like, what do these guys have in common? Well, Paul was a big music fan.
Okay.
And Robin and Paul, like, Robin had a past. He used to listen. And so they would talk about Zeppelin, and they talked about this song a lot, and then there was another one, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
And so, like, Robin would tell, we would be sitting there in Dennings, and Robin would tell Paul, look, man, this is like, it's the devil, and like they're a satanic band, and blah 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 blah, and it wasn't like satanic, like black metal satanic, but it was like,
I heard that
they were so mysterious, and like, where is this? I don't know who did Hotel California. All I remember was like Stairway to Heaven, Hotel California, and Kashmir, like, were all supposedly like metaphors for like going to hell or something.
Yeah, I heard Stairway to Heaven was.
And it was like so I guess this song was written because the singer had like driven on this, like, he got taken on this giant long car ride. It was like this never ending car ride in Africa somewhere. Yeah. That was the inspiration for the song, because
really?
he was taken on this giant long car ride.
Yeah.
And so Paul was saying, no, it has nothing to do with hell. It's just he was just on a long car ride in Africa. And Robin was like, well, it was long and it was hot. Yeah. Africa's hot, close to the equator. But he was dead ass serious, and it wasn't like any, like, it was no bullshit. Like, he was serious, and Paul was like, you're being ridiculous. And then Robin's like, you don't know what's happening. It's kind of like how I sound talking about ghosts, like,
yes,
the devil's not going to tell you it's the devil. Of course, Africa's hot and so is hell. Like, can't you see through the devil's schemes, And I didn't know what was going on at this time, because I was like, just getting my head right. I just got out of the hospital, you know what I mean? And I'm just like trying to get back to God. And like Robin was like the only like, human connection I have with God. So I was like, well, shit, man, I don't know, because we weren't around during that time.
Oh, yeah.
So
and
like,
the way that you came up, too, is the same, like, kind of how I did, where it was like, everything could be like
the
a
evils
demon.
of rock and roll and shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Let the sun beat down upon my face with stars to fill my dreams. I'm a traveler of both time and space to be where I have been. That's smart writing.
Mm-hmm. You like stuff like that.
I'm a traveler of both time and space to be where I have been.
Yeah.
To be present tense where I had been past tense.
Yeah.
Because it's like almost some reincarnation.
Well, he said I travel both time and space.
Right.
So.
Right. Which, in Jamaica, we used to have these really, really long car rides, because you'd go from the country and you take your life into your hands, because there's a hill on the fucking drop on the other side, and it's like,
Jeez.
My dad used to say, just don't look on the other side, you need to be all right. I'm like, what do you mean don't look? Oh, shit! Okay. I'm just sitting in the car like this, like, I'm gonna fucking die right now. Like, I'm gonna meet you right now. Like,
really?
Oh, yeah. But anyways, these long car rides, and I don't know if you've ever been on like a really... And then my mom, of course, like, hey, we're going to a different state, guys. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been on like an endless car ride.
Yeah, my parents drove us to Florida from Maine one year.
Oh my gosh!
Was
it a straight shot, or did they stop at hotels?
I think we did it straight.
In Jamaica, when we
were in the backseat with my nana.
It was so hot, and like after a while, you just like zone. You really do. You just zone out. You really. It's a strange esoteric experience. I'm wondering, like, he was in Africa and he's driving, and he's just like. And, it's the 70s. I mean, he's probably high.
Right, yeah.
Like, so it's
combine
like...
that all together.
Real, like, holy, hey, man, I'm a traveler, time and space, Sit with the elders of the gentle race this world has seldom seen.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
Because there's so much violence?
Well, I think he's in Africa. He's in a, when he says this world, he's writing from the perspective of the Western world. So
I thought he was saying sit with the, like, he's going off somewhere, he's traveling space and time, and he's sitting with the elders of the gentle race the world has seldom seen. Because who's the gentle race? I mean, we don't have a gentle race. Everybody's been violent since.
Well, I don't know, because this was like the 60s and the 70s, where it was like everybody was going to the East, the Far East, to learn like Buddhism and all that shit.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing back in the day, like 60s and 70s. Like, you had all these white,
well, that kind of makes sense
like,
with the next line.
Traveling to the East to try to get something, because the Christianity that, that they were raising was just all it was all bullshit. You know, you've been through 2 world wars and all this
Right.
shit. And so like they're like they wanted to like completely reject Western culture and go into the Eastern stuff, and there was like this idea that these people were superior to white Western whatever, which we don't believe. I mean, it's like, okay, go over there, go over to Africa. I'm from them. Just don't know nothing.
But it sounds good. Who talk of days for which they sit and wait when all will be revealed.
Yeah.
It's very cool sounding.
Well, it was interesting because like at that time, the gap of like modernism and technology was extremely stark.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like 60s and 70s, like Western culture was flying. You know, like, you know, we were and there was a very big gap. You know, that's been bridged pretty well now. Like the Eastern world is you know, caught up in certain pockets, and India is like taking off and all that, right? But back in the day, it was like, it was very, you were kind of going into a different world.
Yeah.
So it's like, they talk of, their sit and wait for when all will be revealed. They had this like knowledge that wasn't tainted by technology, you know? Talk and song from tongues of lilting grace, whose sounds caress my ear. But not a word I heard could I relate. The story was quite clear.
That's cool. So they spoke in a language he didn't understand, but he understood what they were saying.
Yeah.
Their words came out like a song that caressed his ear.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about there's a body, soul, and a spirit, right? And so, like, the soul, from a technical biblical perspective, would be the mind, the will, and the emotions.
Yeah.
And so, but we believe that there's a deeper faculty of human nature that's the spirit that supersedes the mind.
Yes.
So it's lilting grace, what they're talking about, and the sounds are caressing his ear. They're probably chanting. He doesn't know what they're saying in his mind, but it's going into his spirit, and he gets it spiritually.
Yes.
So he gets what the chant is spiritually. He just can't get it, you know, mentally.
Right.
You know?
Well, and that you know, we talk about Christianity, well, branches of Christianity having the gift of speaking in tongues, which they believe to be, or we believe to be, the tongue of angels. You know, you're speaking to God in an unknown tongue.
Like an otherworldly, an otherworldly language, right?
And in that sense, it's
right. That what you know, the you know, in the East at that time, like the order of importance was flipped.
Yeah.
So if like in the Western world, the cognition is everything.
Yeah.
You know, because Aristotle pretty much won the argument, and we're post Enlightenment, so like cognition became like the way of apprehending reality.
Yeah.
Right. But on the Eastern side, it was the spirit was the way of understanding reality, because they looked at ultimate reality as spiritual first.
Yeah.
And then cognitive. You know, last. Whereas here, it's almost exclusively cognitive and not spiritual at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, but see, that's what happened. Like, if a culture shifts too much toward cognition, then there's this whole part of a human being that says, "Hey, I'm dying here."
Yeah, and you'll see that it'll result in certain things that you'll feel it.
Well, yeah,
your spirit can only go so long.
Without
some nourishment, before you'll start, seeing.
Yeah, so these folks
signs.
like would fly over and they put themselves in an atmosphere that was like very, very spiritual. I have no idea what he's saying here.
Which one?
Oh baby, I've been flying. No, yeah, mama, there ain't no denying. Yeah, I've been flying. Mama, ain't no denying, no denying. It's very interesting to me that
maybe
he's
you're
like...
right. Maybe he was high.
He's like extremely poetic, right?
Yeah. And then he switches to that?
Reincarnation, man. Eastern religion, man. Don't understand, but I understand very clearly.
Yeah.
Mama, I've been flying. Ain't no denying. Like, what? Like,
I don't know if you... But if maybe I'm just kind of way off, but maybe if you're right and he is actually high, like most parents don't want their kids like getting high and all that stuff.
Oh, and he's saying
so he's high at this point,
I'm not
and
denying
he's like, "Oh baby, I've been flying. Yeah, mama, there ain't no denying. Like I'm not gonna deny it. I am high.
High as a kite, feeling the flight.
Turbulence.
Yeah, and it's probably like some East meets West stuff, right? Like, so this stuff is the Eastern stuff, and then this is still like, hey, you know, Western, whatever. All I see turns to brown as the sun burns the ground.
And my eyes fill with sand. Oh.
As I scan this wasted land, trying to find where I've been. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe like he's romanticized the East.
Yep.
Because initially he said, let the sun beat down upon my face.
With stars to fill my dreams.
So like the sun was just like, yeah, come on, beat down my face. But then...
And now he's like, I'm looking, I'm getting sand in my eyes.
But the sun turns everything brown.
Yeah.
You know? I actually knew some people from Morocco. That's a completely different story. For a different time. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, why I brought that up. All I see turns to brown as the sun burns the ground. So maybe it's like, you know, you can idealize something or some place or some person, but if you like really, really spend time with them, like after a while, it's like, shit, you're not different from them.
Yeah.
Here you are romanticizing, oh, let me go over to Africa and spend some time with the shamans, and then the shaman's like a evil bastard who smacks little kids in the eye and, you know, grabs on little women. And, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, shit. People are always like, oh, Vin and Sori, like, come over. Like, people will say, like, they want us to, like, and it's like...
You would want us out. Our kids would break something.
Well, not even the kids. Just, like, the way that we are. It's like, people would be like...
It's too much.
It was better when I idealized you on YouTube.
Yeah, it was better when you were only on my TV screen.
Yeah. Yeah, like if people ran into us in real life, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are intolerable."
Well, not the first like little bit of time. It'd be exciting, and then after a while, it's like, okay, wow.
Well, yeah, they'd be like, yeah, especially me. They'd be like, "You are fucking intolerable. Get out of here." But I think that's like trying to find where I've been. Like, you're trying to find yourself. Yeah. So it's maybe it's like the disillusionment with, you know, thinking that you're going to find something down there and then you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, pilot of the storm who leaves no trace, like thoughts inside a dream. That's good. Think about that. So like you're dreaming.
Yes, I know.
And
I hate that feeling.
You're like that though. Yep. But you can remember that stuff, can't you?
Not always.
Not always.
Sometimes I'm in my dreams and I'm like, like I come across like how can end world hunger, or you know, like it's always something that's so big, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I figured this out.
Figured it out.
And then I wake up and I'm like, wait, and I like wait, and I'm like, oh, I'm like trying to grasp it. Like I can remember like a story that happened, like how the story of my dream.
You give pretty detailed accounts of your dreams.
And I do
almost every day.
Yeah,
it's something I look forward to.
I could tell you stuff every day,
but I never. Sometimes you tell me, and sometimes you don't. I haven't figured out that algorithm yet.
I feel like at the end of the day, like, who wants to hear somebody's dreams all the time? Like, I don't feel like that you actually want to hear it every day, because I have one every day to tell. Some I don't want to tell, but some I will. I could tell you all of them.
Well, I can tell when you're going to dream certain things.
I know, you can usually tell. Am I going to have bad dreams tonight?
It depends on what you consider bad. I don't feel like you consider bad when you're having them.
Anyway, but I'll wake up and I'll have, but like, so that makes sense to me, like the whole
storm leaving no trace, like thoughts inside a dream.
Right. Because sometimes I'm trying to catch that thought and I can't find it. I'm like, seriously.
This verse right here is insane. Verse 5. Oh, pilot of the storm who leaves no trace, like thoughts inside a dream. Here is a path that led me to that place, yellow desert stream. My Shangri-La beneath the summer moon, I will return again. Sure as the dust that floats high in June when moving through Kashmir.
I had no clue what it was talking about, and I don't know what a Shangri-La whatever it is, but I thought it sounded really cool. What is it?
Shangri-La is like what, you know, real romance, you know, romances you and all that. Good jazz.
It's a person?
You ever heard like, my Shangri-La?
No.
Okay. But he was...
Who da hey? You've never heard of that? I'm like, what?
Who's that?
You're saying this word that I've never heard before?
There have been like... no, that's not true. There have been 3 or 4 songs that mention my Shangri-La.
Oh. And disregard this.
This happens quite often.
Oh. Okay.
But it's like... I don't have dreams from like figured out world hunger, but I do wake up from dreams feeling like
You forgot something really important?
that something very important was revealed to me, that I felt like I was very satisfied in the dream, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm good now, and I forgot it.
I don't know what to tell you, babe. That's gotta be a terrible feeling. Mine is not for me personally. Mine is always something for somebody else. But if it was like for me personally, I'd be probably more frustrated. I'd be like, no, I want.
He's basically saying like he got romanced by this place, and I think he's more romanced by the idea of what Kashmir is supposed to represent, more so than the place itself.
Sure.
But now it's the moon. It's the summer moon. It's not the sun.
Yeah.
Right. Initially, it was the sun. So like he idealized the sun, but then the sun came out and set everything on fire. So then he's like, well, I like the summer moon. Because the moon's not going to set anything on fire. But then, of course, the Mayhem folks, but it's freezing moon. Get it? Freezing moon. Okay, forget it.
Well, no, it's because I was looking at this and I was like, wait, is there a connection here? Because...
I will return again?
No, because he's talking about the dreams and the summer moons. You know what I mean? Like, he put that night stuff in there.
Oh, okay, yeah, he had that dream under the moon, right?
Yeah.
At nighttime.
You know, but it's not satisfying. O Father of the four winds, fill my sails across the sea of years with no provision but an open face along the straits of fear. I don't know what's being said there. The Father of the four winds, fill my sails across the seas of years. To me, that was just, okay, now even the moon, even under the moon, he's not, even under the summer moon, he's not satisfied. It's time to move on now. So fill my sails, Father of the four winds, you know?
Yeah, I think like if you, that sensation of you're traveling on this long road, you're not going anywhere. You have no direction, but you're stir crazy. Like you're just traveling and you're going, but you're stir crazy. So now it's like fill my sails and let's just
I gotta go.
across the sea of years, like over time, like just wandering all the time, with no provision but an open face. Because at the beginning of the song, he wanted the sun to beat down on his face. So it's like it's like symbolically of like I'm open to everything. I want to experience everything.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like
along the straits of fear, then.
Well, yeah, he's looking at everything head on. You know, I talk about like being clear-eyed about what you're walking into. So the straits of the straits is water. You know, like that's another way to talk about water, but it's like dangerous water.
Oh.
Like dire straits and all that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So he's like, I'm gonna like open my sails. I'm gonna go anywhere, and you know,
I'm gonna know the dangers involved. You know what? That's probably because the last time he went into it starry-eyed.
Right.
And then he came out. He was like, okay, I'm not gonna let that. I'm gonna travel again, but this time I'm going into it, wide-eyed, so I don't get disillusioned by the end.
Yeah. When I'm on my way, when I see the way, you stay. When I'm down, but I'm down, so down, let me take you there. Let me take you there. So now finally he's taking somebody else with him.
Yep.
And it's the only time when he mentions somebody else coming with him. Well, he does mention his baby.
He did?
Remember, baby? Well, not his woman.
Oh,
his,
yeah.
I've been flying. So here he says, I've been flying. So I'm assuming he's talking to her at verse 7 when he says, let me take you there.
Yeah.
Like, he wants I don't think it's his mom. I think he's talking about his girl. Because he says, my baby.
Yeah.
So he's talking about the girl that he was talking about in verse 3.
Okay.
Oh, baby, I've been flying. So, like, I've been traveling all over.
Yeah.
But now at the end, he wants to go with her. So he doesn't want to do it alone. Good for him. I'll tell you, this is one of those, like, I could see in the 70s, like, people going, oh, man, and, like,
oh, yeah.
just putting this on repeat and, like, people going off on their DMT, whatever.
You and DMT.
But I think about Robin, and I'm like, I can see, like, the distrust for this song, because there is something, like, supernatural and epic about it. And you don't feel that way? Like, when you hear, like, it doesn't sound like a regular song to me.
No, it doesn't, but it doesn't sound like something to be concerned about.
No, yeah, I don't know. I'm saying I can see why he would think that, being that the way that he was.
Oh, yeah. When he talked about the shaman, that was enough for me.
I do think that I don't think that this is like some regular song, though.
No.
I do think that there's something like Eastern and almost supernatural about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really do.
Oh.
I mean,
in a negative way? I didn't get that at all from it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Interesting.
I just don't feel like it was a bunch of kids in a garage that came up with this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is like some next level epic, stuff.
Yeah.
That
I would agree with that.
That is not, I don't know. It's that when I think of Led Zeppelin, this is really the first Zeppelin song I've actually listened to. Even when I think, and it might just be the conversations between Robin and Paul, but like, I think about Metallica and all these other bands, like, these guys are kind of mysterious to me. Like, it seems to me like they're just on another level. And I don't mean other level like, whoa, they're just better than everybody else. I feel like they're like over here in my mind and like they're something different about them. I hope more people request Zeppelin songs so we can hear more of them. Because it might just be, I might just listen to the next one and go, oh, that was just that one song. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very possible.
I can't make a call on just one. I'm like, well.
What do you get the song?
I'm between like an 8 and a 9, actually, to be honest with you.
A 9.8 to me. 9.8.
Wow.
I don't really. I felt like the third verse was like, I don't know. I've been flying, there no denying.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a smart reason that you put it in there. I just can't figure it out. So that's the difference between a 10.
So you're gonna dock him because of your own intellect? That makes sense.
It's very possible. Anytime I've docked someone, it's because of my intellect. Same with yours.
No, because I'm mostly rating a song by how I feel.
Oh, because that makes everything better if you do it by how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you rating the song? How do you feel about it? You're not in the camera at all. Like, half your body's out. You're gonna blame me. You're gonna blame me for that later, I'm sure.
That's because you don't push over.
Right.
What? 9. 8.7. 9.
8.7?
9.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.